I'm Barton. I'm from Lebanon, Ohio, and I'm currently living in Bloomington, Indiana. When I was 16 years old, I used to participate in the gay community through the internet, and I would go in chat rooms a lot and talk with various people of various ages. In this chat room, I met a professor who was a professor at University of Cincinnati, and he became a very influential person in my life. I was excited about this relationship I had with him, and I began talking to friends about it. But a friend who I had told confided in another friend, who told a teacher at my Christian school, who told the administrators. And one day I was sitting in Bible class having a discussion about feminism, ironically, and I got pulled out of class and taken to my administrator's office, and they began asking me lots of questions, beating around the bush about this affair that I was having with this older man. Eventually it came out that that's why I was in the office and that I had to seek counsel immediately, otherwise I was going to be kicked out of school. And they were going to tell my parents. They called my parents. My parents had to come pick me up from school. Immediately that evening, I had to go into Christian counseling. In that process, my counselor really encouraged me to become more okay with myself, kind of like my mentor had, this guy that I had the relationship with. And through that, I became very sure and confident in my sexuality. So ironically, Christian counseling really helped me come to terms with being gay, ironically. But an important part of this is that my parents and I never talked about it. They put me in counseling thinking I was fixed and we weren't going to have another conversation about that ever again. I was in physics class my senior year of high school, and I hated physics. I did so bad. I got a D. It was my very first D I ever got. It's the only D I've ever received in any class. And I came home one day and I bawled my eyes out and I said, I'm done. I'm done having this conversation with myself. I'm done having conversation with other people about anything. I just don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be done. And I took 17 pills and I attempted suicide. And my mom came home and I was like, Mom, this is what I did. And so she took me to the hospital. In the drive, I was like, Mom, like, I want you to see me as your child, not as this gay thing that needs to be fixed. And we started talking about the possibility of me ever being in a relationship. And she said to me in the car, like, you can bring someone home, but I'm not going to let them into my house. I'm not going to let them sit at a dinner table and eat with me. Like, you can be gay, but you're not going to sit at a table with me. There was a moment in this whole situation in which I was able to forgive her when they gave me charcoal to drink to get the medicine out of my stomach. And when I was drinking the charcoal, she asked me to say something positive. And so, because it was so hard to drink the charcoal, because charcoal's really disgusting. It's liquid charcoal. You're supposed to make fires out of that, not put it in your belly. And every time I drank, I had to say something that I loved or that I appreciated. And she held my hand that entire time, and I was crying, and I was so angry with her. And after that situation, we didn't talk about me being gay for 2 more years, and we still don't really talk about it. But my mom, about 4 months ago, called me from Portland, Oregon, where she had just got done going to a drag show. And she comes from a really conservative town, and the idea of drag just terrifies her. And she called me laughing really hard and really excited about this thing that she had done. Like, she was like, okay, I'm gonna try and accept my son in this really strange way by going to a drag show in Portland, Oregon when he's in Bloomington, Indiana, and calling him about it. That to me was bridging that 3-year gap in which we hadn't talked about it. And another thing it made me realize is that she could never talk to my dad about it. There's certain things in which the dynamics that she's in, the social circumstances that she is, that she's not allowed to accept me for who I am because other people around her won't let her accept me. But she's trying in her own way to figure out how to do that. And so that phone conversation about the drag show really showed me for the first time that she is attempting, and that hopefully someday I can take a boyfriend home with me to Thanksgiving and sit down at a dinner table and have mashed potatoes. So I have a little bit of hope in that someday I'll be able to be thankful for that too.